Hey guys, and welcome to today's First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a recently released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Super Toy Cars Offroad, which is a Mario racing clone that's not that great, in my honest opinion. It's got some redeeming features, but honestly the game, it just doesn't feel good. And it feels like it's been done in such a way that it could quite easily be heavily monetized with microtransactions, and therefore the game itself is quite a grind. There's a lot to do. As always, we'll look through the options and I will take you through the extras in this case as well, and then we'll jump into some of the gameplay to show you what you have available. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. Okay, so first things first, when you start the game, it will ask you if you want to use your keyboard or your controller. If you hit either one, then the other one, or the one that you don't select, will not work. And if you do select keyboard, the game has no mouse support for the menus, which is really annoying and really bad. I don't know why the game can't switch between the two. So many other games, especially in 2022, are able to do this. It should be an industry standard by now. Once you get into that, once you've selected your chosen peripheral, the options that you get are limited. It's not a great options menu. Now, there is at least an options menu, but yeah, it's not great. Your normal gameplay, you've got your sound effects and your music. At default, it sets the music to 50, your sound effects are at full. This means that when you're actually playing the game, you can't hear the music at all. Kind of pointless having it like that. Maybe having both at 50% by default would make more sense. I don't know. Use auto throttle by default. Honestly, with how wide the tracks are, might as well do that and save your finger. And then use help steering by default. I wouldn't recommend that at all. Then we go to graphics. This is equally disappointing because it doesn't have a frame rate limiter of any sort. And there's no real graphical upgrades, which is a shame because the game from a distance looks really quite good. Like the graphics of the cars, your character model, etc. all look really quite cool. The courses are very, very striking as well. It's sort of like if Mario Kart Racing went HD is what it would remind me of. So to have such a lackluster graphics menu is very disappointing. That being said, I don't think I see this game having trouble running on pretty much any system. It doesn't seem to be that graphic intensive. But again, having options just to allow that accessibility for low-end systems is just a plus. We're going to jump and look at the extras now because there are some pretty cool options that you can see from there. Alright, we're in the extras menu, which honestly should just be in the options menu. I don't know why they've opted to have some of these things in a separate place. The help, music config, credits, and reset progress should all be in your options menu. They are options, they are not extras. They are a thing that should be accessible in one place. I don't understand why they've decided to opt for these things being in an extras menu other than to try and beef it up to justify having an extras menu. I don't understand. That being said, the help is literally just a quick guide. Your music config just shows you that you've got 3 different types of music that you can have on or off. And then you've got your credits and your reset progress. Now your unlocks, I will give them credit. There is a lot you can unlock in this game. There's different costumes. There are a ton of different vehicles that you can unlock. There are tons of paint jobs that you can unlock. There's tons of different characters you can unlock. And then all your costumes. Like, kudos. There's things to work for here, which I'm a big fan of. Like, give you a reason to keep playing. That being said, though, the problem with it is the gameplay isn't really engaging or fun enough to make you want to unlock all of this. It doesn't speak to the completionism enough. And a lot of that, especially where the vehicles are concerned, is that you've got to unlock the vehicle and then you've got to further that and unlock things within the vehicle. But we'll show you the vehicles and stuff now, and then we'll jump into the gameplay once we've done that. Okay, so we are in the vehicle or your garage selection screen. You can change vehicle or change the configuration of your vehicle. You've got how many gems you've got in the top left-hand corner and the cup that you're on and all that good stuff there as well. You can directly go to the home from this page as well. If you select change vehicle, you can see that you've got a number of different vehicles you can choose from and how much they are to buy. They're expensive. Right, they are really, really expensive. They're 12,000 or 10,000 as cheapest, and then they just get progressively more than that. Now, the biggest problem with this is that once you've got a vehicle, you're going to want to make it so that you can compete and actually win some races. Because if you don't finish in like a podium, you're only getting a few hundred gems per run. Last race I did, I got a whopping 400. So I've got an option. I can either do up the car I've got to make getting these more expensive cars down the line more accessible and a bit easier, or I can grind my way to 10, 15, 20,000 to get the really cool cars that I really, really want. And that's not cool. I mean, the cars look amazing. There are a lot of cars to choose from. I will say this, you do get your first one from the 3 or 4 that are available for free, which is good. Then once you've got your car, you can go to the config menu here, and already you can see a problem, right? You've got air control, drift, weight, gearbox, boost, tires, and engine. That's a lot of things, and they all use the same currency as what it takes to buy the actual cars themselves. And again, the upgrades don't look cheap. They start at 1,000. Or 750 or 500 or 1500 for the tires, right? And then you've got your visuals here, so you can change all the colors and stuff. That thankfully does not cost you, but by the time you've finished upgrading stuff to make it so that you can actually compete at a level to start earning some decent gems, you're going to have spent a lot of time doing races coming last and not very, not very fast, or it's going to be a bit of a slog to get to that point. And unfortunately, the races when you're running a stock vehicle like this are not fun. So we're going to upgrade the engine because I want to upgrade the engine and actually stand a chance of being a bit faster. And then you've got golden wrench in vehicle. I don't know what that does, but when you get golden wrenches, I'm assuming for winning races, you can put them into a vehicle and it will make them better. So straight from the bat, straight from the box, straight from going into this, I already know that to get anywhere in this game, I'm going to be spending a hell of a lot of time playing it. But how does it play? How does it feel to race? Let's find out. All right, so we've decided on our car. We've got it to look how we want to. We've got race and death race. And then you've got race and clean race. So you've got different sort of challenges that you can do with each race that becomes available. And it will show you what cars are available for that race that you can use. It does become a little bit hard to tell, especially if you're colorblind, as to which races you can play and which ones you can't straight away. It does seem to start with Group B for some reason. I don't know why it's down in the middle section. I don't know what makes it available to play other than possibly the car that you choose for your starting one. But you basically work your way through, and then to play in all the races, you're going to need at least 3 or 4 different cars to be able to do that. So again, time is going to be required to be put into this game for you to get anywhere. We're going to select this one again. I'm going to go in Group B. We've got our driver, which is obviously we've only got the one. And this is where you can change your costume if you're able to, your color set, and then your paint job if you have any unlocked. And then we hit play. Now, thankfully, the loading times are not that long. It doesn't take long to load into a game. And then it puts you in here and you're against the AI and away you go. Now, there are a number of problems with the driving experience for me personally. The first one is the camera change. If you want to look behind you, it's instant to go behind you, but then it does this weird sort of spinny round thing to put you back into your proper angle. And I don't like it. It's nauseating. I don't understand why looking behind you is a great, you know, very fast snap, and then to look where you're going, which you would expect to require you to, you know, be doing it pretty damn quickly, to take so long. The camera angle seems a bit weird as well. Like, it seems to put you offset if you're turning. Instead of turning with you, the camera seems to stay stationary and you're kind of left to hope and pray. And again, it makes me feel a little bit ill. I'm not enjoying myself. Another problem that I've seen with this game is the damage you take. Only takes a couple of hits and your car's out, which means you can be racing, and bearing in mind there's only so fast that I can actually go because I'm pretty much stock at this point, so everything's faster than me, everything hits harder than me, and skill really doesn't come into it. There's not a lot you can do about it. You're on these very wide tracks, and there's only so much you can do, and only so far in front that you can kind of stay before it all goes to shit because they're going to catch you. It feels very, very stacked against you, and that leads to a very big feeling of frustration. All in all, I feel like the balancing is just off in this game. It feels like what they've wanted to try and do and what they've actually created is two very different things. I love the world building. I love the general feel of, you know, we're in a toy car and we're going around the playground or whatever, and you know, that's cool. But the actual gameplay, the car doesn't feel very responsive. It doesn't feel like you're racing. And again, I can very easily see why you would just have throttle on all the time, because the corners are very wide and sloping and there's no real skill involved. It's just driving around, trying to avoid certain things and hoping you get a decent pickup so that you can win the race. And that's all there is to it. Outside of that, the game is pretty damn shallow, and you're going to be spending a lot of time to get the things that you need to get if you can't win every race. Let me know in those comments down below whether you think that this is a fun game or not, and I will see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.